Alright, today we're going to be multiplying positive and negative integers, and I want you to kind of go at your own pace with this. Some of you are going to be really good with your multiplication facts, and some of you might need some more practice. So all you really need to know from here is you need to know these two different rules for the positives and negatives, and if you're good with your facts, then you should be pretty good. Otherwise, we're going to be practicing these a lot. Alright, so first rule is the product. Now let's wait for a second. Product, you should know, is just a fancy word for multiplying. We're going to be using that a lot this year, so make sure you know what that means. So the product of two integers with the same sign is going to be always positive. So the answer with two positive integers have the same sign is going to be a positive number. So for example, if you're multiplying a positive number times a positive number, your answer is going to be positive. Same thing, if you're multiplying two negative numbers, your answer is going to be positive. So very different from adding and subtracting. So here, let's just practice our facts. You should know that 4 times 8 is 32, so positive. Positive 42, and positive 44. So those are no-brainers. We've been doing those all our lives. Then we get to the negative. So same rule though, if they're both negative, all of my answers are going to be positive. So negative 3 times negative 4 is going to be a positive 12. Negative 4 times negative 6, positive 24. And then we get a positive 20 down here. So pretty easy for that first rule. Then our second rule is if the product, again, so the answer to our multiplication problem of two integers has different signs, then your answer is going to be negative. So, for example, I have a negative times a positive, positive times a negative, negative times a positive. So all of these, if we have different signs, our answer has to have a negative in it. So this one would be negative 16, negative 30, and then negative 20. So remember those two rules as we do some of these practice. You might want to pause the video right now and just try these on your own and then check back if you need to. So, solving these expressions. Now, this is a little different from adding too. Notice that we have the variables. These aren't like terms, but that's okay for multiplication. You're just going to tack that onto the end. So, negative 4 times a negative 6m, different signs, so my answer is going to be negative 24, and I'm going to tack that variable on at the end. 7 times a negative 3, different signs, so negative 21x. Same sign, so my answer is going to be positive, and I'm going to tack on both of those variables at the end. Alright, I have three terms here. If you just see a variable by itself, tack on a little 1, so it should be negative 1. So let's multiply these first. Negative 8 times positive 2, different signs, so they're going to be negative. And then let's bring down that negative 1y. So negative 16 times a negative 1, this time it's going to be positive. So it's going to be positive 16y. So you had two rules within this one problem. So let's do this first. 5 times a negative 3, it's going to be different signs as negative. I'm going to bring down that 2d. Negative 15 times positive 2 is going to give me negative 30. D. Different signs, my answer is negative. Last one, this one here, you should know that anything times 0 is 0, so my answer is going to be 0. And remember, whenever you have 0, you can't be positive or negative, and you can't have the variable, so your answer is just 0. Alright, this time we just have equations instead of expressions, but that's okay. Our answer is just going to be whatever this is equals. So I have same signs, so it's going to be positive, so positive 56. Different signs this time, so negative 20. And then we have another doozy here, we're just going to break it apart. Negative 2 times negative 3 is going to be a positive 6. And then we have negative 4. So different signs is going to be negative, and just remember that equals y here. Alright, I'm going to skip this one for right now. This is something that we're going to do as an enrichment once you get to class. If you want to try it and show me tomorrow, I'll give you some extra raffle tickets.